everybody, and welcome to a planned GamerVision.
I
One
mean,
that we actually this was something that we thought of. We're filming, and it's we like now. Granted, we're filming, and there is still a chance. There's still a really good chance that some of these companies may decide to go on a buying spree again and interrupt our plans.
I
But
mean, there
as of
is
right now, this is happening.
there is breaking news, and we're not
Yeah,
going to talk about that. Nintendo's shutting down the Wii U and the 3DS eShops. We'll
uh,
talk about that later. That's not happening for at least a year. Um,
yeah,
but was this really planned? Because I mean, we had those other episodes, and they're sitting there waiting to go.
yeah,
They're just
yeah,
begging to be recorded, and we're like, nah, forget it. We're just gonna. Nintendo put out a
yeah.
direct this week, so let's talk about that.
Yeah, and it was a good direct. Like I,
It was
I
a
am in the
very good
camp
direct.
that I like RPGs, and this Nintendo Direct was
Oh man.
very much directed at me.
Dude, if you
So,
are a fan of RPGs, the Switch is going to be your system for the next
yeah,
year. That lineup of stuff is stacked.
I'm a huge fan of RPGs,
As am I.
and Square Enix showed up in force. They had so many announcements in this direct, but I figure we can kind of bounce back and forth, kind of go over our top three picks
Yeah.
of this direct because
We
it was
won't be able to
loaded
go over
with
everything.
games. Yeah,
It,
it was
it was
loaded with games.
it was 40 minutes long, and if we go over
Yeah.
everything, we'd be here for 2 hours talking about everything because there was some
Yeah.
fantastic announcements. Nintendo started off with a showstopper for me because my top three favorite franchises of all time are Dragon Quest, The Legend of
Mhm.
Zelda, and Fire Emblem in that order.
Yes.
And we
Love the
didn't
Fire Emblem.
we didn't get Dragon Quest 3 info. I'd love that. We didn't get talk of the new Zelda. I figured that wasn't going to happen because this was focused on the first half of 2022. But we did get new Fire Emblem, and it is Fire Emblem Three Hopes, which is a
Yes.
game set in the same universe as the recently released, I guess it was last year, Fire Emblem Three Houses. But
Yeah.
it is not a traditional Fire Emblem. It is a sequel to Fire Emblem Warriors,
Yes.
which was an early Switch game. And if you don't know what those are, it is one of the Muso, the Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors style spin-offs that Nintendo has been, pretty. Those have been pretty popular with Nintendo fans the last few years, with Hyrule Warriors 1 and 2 coming out, the first Fire Emblem Warriors, and now this. And this looks fantastic. Like, it is a wonderful continuation of just throw hundreds of enemies on the screen and just let you go to town and
Flash
have
them up.
fun.
Just
Um,
it just they're gone, and you move on to the next.
Yeah, and the thing about these games, Koei Tecmo and the developers, they do a very good job of taking that Dynasty Warriors formula and mixing it with whatever they're doing. Whether it's Dragon Quest, because Dragon Quest has gotten a Dynasty Warriors style game, Legend of Zelda, or Fire Emblem. With
Yeah.
the big thing in Fire Emblem is that the triangle attacks where you've got swords and spears and axes, and it's the rock paper scissors type thing. Depending on what
Yeah.
weapon you're using and what weapon the enemy is using, that determines who has the advantage in that fight. And I cannot wait to play this.
You kind of you mentioned a triangle, and with that, with the shape of a triangle, segues into my first pick, um, triangle strategy. I'm great at these segues. So I'm super excited for this.
This is one of my most anticipated games as well, but it is not on my list for today.
The demo is available on the eShop. Chapters 1 through 3 is available to download, and everything you do in this demo you can carry over to the main game,
Yep.
which comes out, I believe, March 4th. I think it's like the first week of March. So it's a couple weeks, and I have loved the demo. And for the most part, I really enjoy this like HD 2D. I guess
That is a,
phase.
that is a thing. Like, the HD 2D thing is a thing that Square Enix is doing. It
Yeah.
has its own logo. Like, I think that is
Yes.
very much after the direct. That is very
Yeah.
much going to be a thing that Square Enix is going to do for a while.
and I am all for it
Hundred
because
percent,
there
100%.
this now I go through phases with Square Enix. They get me hooked on things. I started feeling so good about what they're doing. Everything just going so well, and then they just kind of crap all over it. And then it just kind of it repeats. They just go through this cycle. And right now, I'm really enjoying this HD 2D era that Square Enix is supporting with Octopath Traveler, Dragon Quest 3 Remake, Triangle Strategy. Um,
They announced a
I mean,
new game during the direct, Live I Live, which was Japan
yes,
only.
which was a complete surprise.
Yeah,
And I was torn as far as like my three because I'm like, man, this is just there's just so many RPGs in this in
yeah,
this uh,
yeah. I thought
in
about
this
putting that one
direct.
on my list as well.
A wonderful like I like the Final Fantasy Tactics. I like Tactics Ogre. I like Fire Emblem. I like these strategy tactical role playing games where you got a bunch of characters and you're trying to get through to the next mission, and there's wonderful stories. And so far with the demo, it is the characters are coming to life, and I'm absolutely loving it. I cannot wait for this game to come out, and I really hope that it continues with more content. I hope
Yeah,
that they I hope there's a Triangle Strategy too, and all that.
if
But
we can't get a new Tactics Advance game, this
yeah,
is the next best thing.
that's so I just I'm super excited for that.
It's been what 15 years now since we've had a Mario soccer game, which sounds just
That
crazy.
yeah, oh
But yeah,
man,
15
time
years
time.
it
Oh
has
my
been
God.
since we got a Strikers game. We've had other like the Mario Sports Mix stuff had a soccer game in it, but it was not a Strikers game. I love the
Yeah.
fast paced, just chaotic nature of the Strikers games. It's sort of like Mario Kart without the vehicles, is what it is.
They just put it on the what is it the soccer pitch
Yes,
the field.
they put it on the soccer
Yeah,
pitch, electrify the edges so you can't get out.
yeah, and there's so many explosions, just so much crazy chaos like from what they were showing with Battle League.
Yeah,
Like it is high octane. This is how you do like an arcade sports title. Like
yeah,
this
yeah.
is
The Strikers game is probably my favorite of the sports games. I really like what they're doing with this one. It looks really good. Um, it's got 8 player, multiplayer, so 4v4, which is crazy because it's only been 2 player in the past was the most you've ever been able to do. So this is going to
well,
be, and it's got online play. It's got online leagues, so you can create a league, and I think up to 20 people can join your league and play with each other. It is going to be crazy, insane fun on a
yeah.
soccer field with, like you said, explosions everywhere.
Just
There,
everything's exploding. Like you kick the ball, it explodes. You touch the wall, it explodes. You score a goal, it explodes. Like
yeah, there were
so much
so many
chaos.
explosions during that
Uh,
trailer.
I'm not the biggest fan of Chrono Cross. I like it. It was fun. It was enjoyable back on the PlayStation One. So I'm excited to see Chrono Cross being remastered for for modern platforms, the Switch namely because of the Direct, but um, because they're adding other things to it that didn't come out over here in the US. So it's great to get the additional content that Chrono Cross had. But it's weird because like the thing that I'm most excited about, the thing that really pumps me up about this Chrono Cross remaster is the chance that they will do a remaster for Chrono Trigger.
Oh, Chrono.
Which with that, you know, even if they don't do a remaster of Chrono Trigger, it would be great to see Chrono Trigger
Yeah,
on the Super Nintendo virtual uh, console thing for Nintendo Switch Online.
yeah.
But Chrono Cross, I'm like I said, I'm excited. I am interested in it, but my hope is that it does really well, and then that tells Square Enix that hey, maybe we should do more with the game that has an even bigger fan base than the Chrono series,
I'm
which is
really
obviously Chrono Trigger.
I'm really kind of surprised this one is getting the remaster
Yeah,
before Chrono
yeah,
Trigger does, because not
yeah,
a lot of people have played Chrono Cross. A lot of people don't even know it
yeah,
exists. Whereas they know Chrono Trigger. That is one of those
yes,
games that constantly leads those best RPGs of all time lists,
yeah.
and that's a
Still
game
holds up
that's
very.
just begging for that HD 2D style remake.
Yes, 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 yes. I would love it. I would love to see Chrono Trigger given that
Yeah.
HD 2D treatment.
And Chrono Cross has a release date as well, and that is April 7th of this year, so you don't have to wait
Okay.
very long at all. My third pick is actually not a game release itself, but it is a DLC announcement. Smash is over,
Yeah,
so we
yeah,
don't have that, look forward to the anticipation of who's going to be announced as the next character for Smash. That's over. That's done.
yeah,
We're done.
yeah,
So Nintendo needed something to fill that, Smash shaped void, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
well, they think that the best way to do that now is with an 8-year-old release called Mario Kart 8. And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
they announced that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, not Mario Kart 8. This is not coming to the Wii U. This is exclusive to the Switch.
They are
So,
done with that system.
yeah, the Wii U is not getting DLC like this. This is Switch only. Um,
That would be weird. Like that would be such a weird announcement for them to make. Is
that we are getting 6 rounds of DLC for Mario Kart 8 over the next 2 years, essentially, through the end of 2023. That is going to be.
technically, by the time all of this DLC is done, the game will be 10 years old by
Yes!
the time all of this DLC is over.
The thing
Yeah,
is, Mario Kart 8 continues to be one of the best selling games on the Switch. And not like,
yeah,
it's in the top 10, it's kind of lingering down at number 9. No, it is in the top 3 all the time.
yeah, yeah. Like it is consistently selling so well for the platform that, or for as far as the game release, it's doing so well. It's like GTA 6, or well, it's like GTA 5.
GTA 5, yeah.
It's preventing GTA 6 because people won't stop
Yeah,
buying it.
exactly. We're not going to get Mario Kart 9 because everybody keeps
Yeah,
buying Mario Kart 8. And there's
yeah,
good reason. It's a fantastic game. I love playing Mario Kart 8. And I'm
yeah.
going to love it for the next 2 years now. Um,
You can get it separately for what,
it's
24.99.
it's $25 to pick up, and that will give you all 48 tracks. So you're essentially doubling the size of the game. Um,
Or you could have Nintendo Switch Online with
yes,
the expansion pass,
yes.
and that's what I was thinking of earlier.
If you are a Switch Online subscriber, you will get this DLC added to your subscription for no additional cost, which is
It's a,
fantastic. I,
it's a good use of the service.
it is. I don't want to see this become just a DLC
Yeah,
delivery service. Um, while that's cool, I like that.
yeah.
I want to see
Hopefully, it's
them.
not the only way to do this.
Yeah, I want to see them really take advantage of that and put some titles on there that people maybe have passed up on and aren't going to buy, but maybe they'll be like,
Yeah,
oh, I can play this game for free, and there's some additional content that I can get if I like this game. And, with like Mario Kart 8, if you don't get the game, if you are a Switch subscriber, you're like, okay, I've got the game for free. I want to get that extra content. I want to buy that DLC. I've done that many times on the Xbox where I
yeah,
have bought DLC for a game that I don't own because I'm playing it through Game Pass and I like the game a whole lot. So then I wanted to support the developer. I will grab the DLC, and then once that game is about to come off the service, I'll usually go ahead and pick it up because you get it for 20% off. And so the developer then gets that additional money from me that they wouldn't have gotten if that game
yeah.
wasn't on a service like that.
Well, I feel like now that Disney is doing their own Mario Kart
Oh
game, which
gosh,
was
they are,
done
aren't they? I had
that
forgotten
was
about
also
that.
that direct. Which is it's also like, where have you been, Disney? Like Nintendo is basically the Disney of gaming. So like, just kind of surprising that now of all time.
I wonder.
When Nintendo's like, you know what, we're gonna do some new DLC for
Yeah,
Mario Kart 8, and then Disney's like, well, hey, if you're gonna do that, this is
yeah.
gonna get people excited for
Well, the
kart
thing is,
racers.
I wonder how Disney feels announcing a brand new free to play, kart racer, and then a few minutes later, Nintendo's like, "Oh yeah, by the way, brand new Mario
Here you
Kart
go.
stuff."
Yeah. Um, but it's one of those. Like I said, the game is going to be 10 years old by the time all of this DLC is
That's
done
insane.
for Mario Kart 8.
Insane.
Really, only MMOs that I can think of see this
Yeah,
level of longevity
yeah.
and support from a company. Um, it's
Unless you're
really,
Destiny, which is sort of a MMO
yeah,
light
yeah.
type thing. Anyway, yeah.
The game, it's a kart racer from 8 years ago. It's going to get all this new content, and it's going to be 10 years old. And of course, who knows? Nintendo may decide, you know what? We're going to do another 2 years of this. We're just going to remaster some more tracks, and
I
you
mean,
know,
they've said 48 tracks are coming. There are 52 tracks. I pulled up. I created an entire list of all of the Mario Kart tracks that have been done because I'm starting to compile my wish list of what tracks I want to come. There are 52 tracks that have never been redone. Because since Mario Kart 7, they've started to do the retro tracks where they bring some of the old tracks into the new games.
gotcha.
There are 3 tracks that have been done twice as DLC. There are 52 tracks that have never been brought over, plus another like 50 something uh,
Well,
that have been redone. So I mean, there's a lot of content for them to choose from.
as I said earlier, I'm a huge fan of RPGs, and I listed off a couple of the like strategy, tactical role-playing games that I really like. But I left out a series that I really enjoyed, except for the more actiony one that they did for the PS3 and 360 called Front Mission Evolved,
Okay.
which kind of gives away what my third pick from this direct is. But the fact that Front Mission 1 and Front Mission 2, which was just kind of, it was just like, oh, and we're doing this as well.
They
And it
just
was
tack that
only,
on at the end. They're like, oh yeah, by the way.
yeah, the second, we're doing that one too.
Yeah.
And then they moved on to other games. But Front Mission 1 and 2 are coming to the Switch. I'm super excited for this because, again, I love RPGs, and
I've
this direct was full of them.
I've never played Front Mission, so these would be new titles for me.
It'd be a great way to get people into the Front Mission series. Just make sure after 4 you stop, because Evolved, it exists, unfortunately. It's like the Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter of the Front Mission series. Breath of Fire Dragon Quarter was a terrible game, and I don't know if anybody out there is really wanting to defend it, but if you do, I don't know who hurt you, but there are better games out there, and you deserve better. With Front Mission 1 and 2, I'm a sucker for strategy RPGs, and just the fact that Square Enix is dipping into their portfolio, and they're like, hey, let's do things with these games that came out decades ago. Front Mission 1 and 2 on the Switch. I never really got around to playing those two games a lot back then because I was a kid. Strategy RPGs were too hard, and I really didn't start finding a real love of the subgenre until around the time of like Fire Emblem Sacred Stones for the GBA. So I would love to be able to grab these titles and play these on the Switch because they deserve some love. The series is great, but yeah, let us know in the comments what you thought of this direct.
Absolutely.
By the time that this goes up, it has been about a week, so hopefully you've had a lot of time to think about it. Uh, Fingers crossed that this episode actually goes out and nobody purchases anybody, like Nintendo or Sony purchase Square Enix or something. We don't need any more Megaton announcements right
No,
now. Just let
no,
us.
no, we don't.
We'll see you with the next episode of GamerVision.
Bye, everybody.